Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Young Thug is a target of a drive-by shooting, and Drake buys a $100 million plane. Not a jet, a whole plane. Plus, DaBaby throws 100 pounds of weed into the crowd while he's performing. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, so Young Thug was in Miami yesterday, right? And everybody's in Miami because of Rolling Loud, right? So he was in Miami yesterday, but he was performing at Club Live, right? Because, you know, he got to pick up a bag, you know, a little bag before you go get the big bag at Rolling Loud, right? So he's performing, everything's all good. He's on stage, bop, 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 everything's cool. And then he chilled at the venue for a little while, right? So he chilled at the venue for hours. I think he got on stage like around 2:30. Dude was at the venue for like 4 hours, all right? Like, so finally he leaves at like 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And he has like 2 full like party buses of people. It's his peoples, you know, family, friends, probably people from Miami that he knows, entourage, his managers, like road managers, and people that always travel with him too, plus probably some extra people, because like this weekend is gonna be like mad fun, mad crazy in Miami, right? So, you know, everybody gets on the buses, and Young Thug is smart, but a lot of rappers do this, right? So everybody gets on the bus, and then, you know, people who are just like in the crowd, or, you know, people on the street, they think that Young Thug is one of the people that got on the buses too, and all the buses say Young Thug on the side of it, and whatever the case may be, right? But a lot of times, I know Rick Ross does this, Lil Wayne does this, Kodak Black does this, and apparently Young Thug does this too, where y'all think that he's on the tour bus, but that nigga is like in a regular hoopty unmarked car. He might be in a Honda or something, 3 cars behind the tour buses, just following the tour buses to make sure everything's all good, right? He's looking like a regular citizen in a tented out Honda, while whoever's targeting them is gonna, you know, target the bus. But usually that's like the entourage, the crew, and people like that. Like the superstar ain't gonna be on the bus, right? Might be on a Sprinter, but that Sprinter's unmarked. Trust me, your superstar is not traveling in a bus with their name on the side of it, all big and shit, as to look like a target. Trust me on that, right? So good thing that Young Thug wasn't in the bus, but I mean, everybody's life matters, not just Young Thug's life, right? So anyway, the tour bus, or both of them, as they're leaving the venue, maybe about 30 minutes after they left the venue, once they reach I-95, another vehicle pulls up alongside of the buses and just sprays both of the buses. You know what I'm saying? Crazy shit. Shot both buses up, right? Everybody got down. Nobody really got hurt, actually. So there's 3 people that ended up going to the hospital for like minor injuries. They didn't even get shot. They just probably got like glass or something, or whatever the case may be. So that's cool. Those 3 people are gonna be okay. Young Thug was completely untouched because he wasn't even in the bus. But man, this is just crazy, yo. There's no arrests that have been made. They don't know who the hell was it that shot up the bus. They don't know why. Young Thug is like, he don't know. His crew don't know. And it's insane, man. But this is happening over and over again. And just yesterday, I talked about Offset being shot at. You know, he was in his studio and there was a car driving by like 100 miles an hour shooting. So, you know, they wasn't really trying to hit nobody. They just wanted to spray up the building. And then the very next day, the same type of thing happens to Young Thug. Only these niggas shot up his bus, and I think that they was trying to hit somebody. But yo, Young Thug is all good. He's cool, and you know, let's just hope that he stays good like this. And then y'all wonder why rappers travel around with guns. It's because they are literally walking targets. I mean, if you're a million, these people look at these dudes as like a walk-in lick, right? But really, a rapper is a business. You know, Young Thug is a whole business in himself. You know, it's not like he's a business, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he's a battery that powers this business, you know? So, I mean, these dudes got to be careful, man. And I don't blame no rapper for walking around with a pistol, to be honest. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Alright, yo, this is crazy, right? Because Drake actually went and bought like a whole jet. I mean, y'all see that? Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to disrespect it, okay? It ain't no jet. This is a Boeing cargo plane, right? Fire, man. Fire. I'm gonna tell you right now. So this is a cargo plane, 767 B300, right? And what happened is that Drake bought it, and then this company called Cargo Jet, believe it or not, it's a Canadian company. What they did was they provided him with the jet, so he bought it from them, and then they did like the whole interior. So you see he got couches in there, he got the whole setup, tables, everything. Everything's like gold and brown. You see on the outside it says Air Drake. Okay, like imagine like I'm trying to get some shit that says Air Fastlane. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like what up? You know what I'm saying? On the other side, I got the OVO owl. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is fire, right? So this thing is huge. Drake has been looking at purchasing like an airplane for like the last 2 years, ever since 2017. He's been working with this cargo jet company ever since then, right? On various things, right? So the CEO of Cargo Jet actually was there. That's who Drake was pointing at when he said, this is all because of this man right here. And the dude gave him a salute. So Cargo Jet, the company, actually released a statement from Drake. So this is weird and crazy, but Cargo Jet released a Drake statement saying that Drake said that he is always into like homegrown businesses, and that since Drake himself is such a huge success from Canada, and since Cargo Jet is another huge success from Canada, why not both of them work together, right? And this is crazy, right? So the jet is costing, it says that the jet costs $100 million, right? And it looks like it probably was like, or it costs $100 million. So if I wanted to go buy the jet right now off of Drake or off of Cargo Jet, I would have to pay $100 million for it, right? But I feel like Drake didn't pay $100 million. You know what I'm saying? Drake probably got it for the low, right? Drake probably got it for like $50 million, right? Which is still a lot of money, right? And it's not low by any means. $50 million is still a huge mansion, and you could buy a whole lot with $50 million. But I feel like Drake probably is making monthly payments, probably between $50,000 to $75,000 on a $50 million, payment on his jet, right? And even though it's worth $100 million, the reason why he paid only half is because clearly this company is working with him, right? So he could have just bought it and said, yo, I got a jet, not tell anybody where the jet came from, not tell anybody what company gave him the jet, then I feel like he paid full price. But since he's out here advertising it really big, that this is the company I got it from, that these are the guys that did it for me, then you know that they have some kind of agreement where, okay, I'll give it to you half price if you advertise my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drake to be an ambassador for your brand is huge, right? Rihanna does it with beauty products, right? So does Kylie Jenner. Cardi B does it with Fashion Nova. You know what I'm saying? Like, when somebody that you look up to or that you admire or that you in your head or your eyes think is cool or somebody in the know-how, then trust me, what they do and their influence will rub off on you. This is why all of these people who have a lot of followers get brand deals and advertisement deals, because if you think that Jonny Fastlane is cool and you watch Jonny Fastlane every day, then why wouldn't a company put a Nike shirt on Jonny Fastlane so that when you watching Jonny Fastlane, you also see Nike? You feel me? And Jonny Fastlane will probably get that shirt for free. You feel me? So on a much bigger level, because Drake is huge, the company gave him that shit for the low. It probably wasn't for free because, they still had to put in work and, do all this shit. But I know that Drake didn't pay full price for this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it is still fire because it is bought. You know what I'm saying? It's not rented. It's not a timeshare where, a bunch of us own it, 10 co-owners. We're all millionaires. And I just got to make sure that you not using it on Labor Day weekend because I need to use the jet on Labor Day weekend type shit. None of that. Like, this is Drake's plane, which is fire, man. I think that is so dope, right? So somebody, people love to troll Drake, right? So somebody on Instagram, because Drake put that video up on his Instagram, right? And somebody commented on there talking about, oh, you're gonna use that plane to go see your son, you know what I'm saying, Adonis. But all right, so Drake's son, lives in France, right? With, his baby moms, I think Sophie Brousseau, who is a porn star, but she's a porn star in France, right? So trust me, I tried to look up, some Sophie Brousseau, but I couldn't find her here in the US. So I'm just saying, y'all know not to waste your time. Or matter of fact, you go look for the shit, and if you find it, you let me know, okay? Because I need to say something. I'm trying to say something, But, she lives in France with the son, so Drake, really doesn't see his son all that much. But, his son does love him, right? So, Dennis Graham, who's Drake's father, was at Cardi B's Fashion Over party the other night, where Skinny from the Nine got arrested. I don't know why he was there, but he was there. And they asked him about Drake's son on the red carpet. So he says, yeah, I've seen them interact together, and he knows that Drake's son just loves him. They also asked him if, did you give Drake any advice on how to be like a good father or how to be like fatherly? And then Drake's father said, nah, he ain't really need no advice because he loves his son and he's a dope ass father. You know what I'm saying? DaBaby doesn't want for nothing. Sophie doesn't want for nothing. But it's just that they live out of the country. So because of Drake's busy ass schedule, he doesn't really get to see his son all that much, But that was cool, so, shout out to Drake. I think that is dope that, you are, and there's a lot of haters out there. Motherfuckers will be like, oh, you could have did something else with all that money or whatever like that. But you worked hard for that shit. Drake works very hard, you know what I'm saying? So for him to go and buy himself a little gift, a little present, I fucks with it, you know what I'm saying? Plus, we didn't even pay all that money for it anyway. Well, you did, but you did, you know what I'm saying? So let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. This was last night at Rolling Loud, right? Now, I'm fucked with DaBaby. Like, this nigga is new. He in the game. He the type of baby that'll fuck the babysitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got hot ass music. He dope. Bop, bop, bop in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucked with DaBaby, right? But not but. There's no but here. And, you know what I'm saying? He does it again, right? So he's always on stage doing the most. Like, his shows are fire. One time he came out, South by Southwest. He had on a whole, this nigga, grown ass man, shooter, had on a whole diaper, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, funny as hell, right? But it was for a whole reason, because he's like, I'm DaBaby, right? Not to be confused with Baby, aka Birdman, or Lil Baby, who, is on quality control. Well, we talking about DaBaby, right? From North Carolina, right? Y'all know DaBaby, right? So anyway, he's on stage at Rolling Loud. Y'all see the shit, right? You got packs. You got a nigga that's behind him, handing him packs, throwing packs of weed into the fucking crowd. That shit is crazy, right? So I'm seeing a bunch of shit on Twitter coming down. Motherfuckers like, yo, this nigga threw out like 75 to 100 packs of weed into the crowd. Crazy, right? He's definitely a dope ass performer and knows how to get the crowd riled up, and boy was they riled up, yo. So after the show and everything happened, people they ran to their car, they ran to the porta potty, cause you throwing that shit in the crowd, motherfuckers gonna try to catch it and shit and try to get you for it. So if I catch me a pack, I'm gonna just put it up under my shirt and I'm gonna just chill out for a little, throw it in my book bag and chill out and act like I ain't catch nothing, right? Because we really about to be rolling loud after this, right? So it's props because after they checked everything out, DaBaby was throwing out literally grass, okay, in these packs, all right? Yo, I knew it had to be something because Rolling Loud is in Florida, right? Rolling Loud is in Miami, right? And all right, so some states are legalizing marijuana, right? Like Washington State, marijuana is legal. You could grow your own. California, Colorado, but you cannot have, 75 to 100 pounds of marijuana on you regardless. Like there's regulations on this shit, in the states, right? So regardless, even if you are in California or if you are in Washington or Colorado or another place where it's decriminalized, maybe not even legal, if they catch you with a little bit of weed on you, you cool. But if you have pounds of weed, even in those states, it's an issue. Not to mention that Rolling Loud's in Miami, Florida, where even having a joint is illegal and your ass gonna get locked up in handcuffs. So I said to myself, how was he able to throw out 100 pounds of weed at his show? That nigga wasn't throwing shit. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a dope ass showsman. Like, just because you wasn't really throwing weed, you still had the crowd hype. You still had everybody talking about it. You still had people going crazy. You still was lit on Twitter and the gram with a whole Friday night. You know what I'm saying? For throwing out them packs that people thought was weed, right? And it's not like, oh, DaBaby was trolling people, or DaBaby was lying to his fans, or DaBaby was sitting here trying to cap. Nah, I feel like, yo, it's props. And I think that shit is dope even still. Like, just the visual, just the notion, just to be like, is this nigga really throwing packs in the crowd? Like, that shit is crazy. That reminds me of some shit that was real from back in the day, but this was like 15 years ago back in the day when Gucci Mane was on stage and was throwing out like a handful of pills, Percocet, oxycodone, all kind of fucking pills. Gucci was just throwing them shits in the crowd. That's when he used to perform. Like, this before Gucci was even signed. Gucci was independent. He used to perform in the clubs in Atlanta, and he used to throw pills out into the crowd. That's when him and Jeezy was still cool. That's how long ago that shit was. You know what I'm saying? But I think this whole shit is dope. I'm really fucking with DaBaby. And I'm just like excited to see like where his career goes, because so far so good, yo. Let me know what y'all think about all this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you follow me at Jonny Fastlane on everything. That's JONNY Fastlane on Instagram and Twitter. And y'all already know what to do. Peace.